You like that? You like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we're going to be talking red zone, and we're going to talk press technique. And since my Tyquan Thornton video is by far my most popular video, we're going to bring back Tyquan Thornton to be able to iron out some of these details. I'm going to show you some things that you can look for to evaluate players, and then we're going to jump into virtual reality so that you guys will be able to see from the player's perspective how it's supposed to go. So let's jump right into this one. So we got Tyquan Thornton up here at the top of the screen. It's a 3-by-1 formation. He's isolating this corner up here. So corners in press man-to-man coverage. And so off rip, he does this nice little stall release. It's nice and patient. Fakes to the inside, jab steps inside, breaks to the outside, and gets a nice, easy touchdown. Right? Nice, easy, simple. Well, when we're looking at this stuff, it's important, very important, to also evaluate the corner that he's going up against. Is he using good technique? Is he all over him? Is he on top of things? Or does he make some mistakes? This corner makes a couple mistakes. So, we always talk about we want to have our eyes on the hip, right? We want to have that progression. Eyes, then feet, and then hands. Well, his eyes are definitely on the hip. He's doing a good job. He's nice and patient. He's got good feet, right? You see those motor feet, typewriter feet right there? The problem comes in with the hands. And you'll notice here that he jams with two hands. We talk about this on this channel a lot. You do not want to jam with two hands. You want to get that one hand jam. And when we go into VR, you'll understand why. So he jams with two hands, and then that does not give him the ability to have the flexibility to open to the outside. He's caught in quicksand here, and it's just a nice, easy completion for Thornton. So, y'all know I love me some Roger McCreary. We're going to show a couple of reps from Roger McCreary that are not perfect press reps, but he ends up in a good position because of his technique, because he understands his progression. So as we can see here, his eyes are down here on the receiver's hip. Okay, he opens the gate way too early though, right? He doesn't do good feet here. He just opens the gate on this play. But as the receiver breaks back inside, he gets back square to the line of scrimmage. Notice how he doesn't reach. He doesn't use any hands, right? He's not throwing his hands out. Not one hand, not two hands, not throwing hands, just staying nice and patient. Now the feet are looking good again, gets back square. And then when the receiver gets up the field, that's when he starts to get contact, when he knows that the receiver has declared the route, okay? So not a perfect rep, but he ends up in good position because he understands that he might have made a mistake in the progression, but he doesn't compound it by doing more things than he needs to. Again, we'll see this situation here. Good feet, okay? But does open the gate slightly too early. But again, we notice he doesn't throw any hands. He doesn't get himself locked out and out of position. So then also, to not compound things, he doesn't open his hips back this way. He speed turns, gets on top of the receiver, and ends up in position to break up this pass. So now we're going to jump into VR, and we're going to break down a few things that you want to notice from the perspective of the players when you're evaluating players to see whether or not they're playing properly. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so here we are in VR. Let's just jump right into this thing. So we'll start it off with Tyquan Thornton here, okay? And so what he sees is this press man corner on him. And he does a really good job of stalling his release, giving that jab step to the inside, breaking back to the outside, getting on top of this guy, and looking back for the football. Makes a really good release right there. So now we're going to jump into the corner here and show you what he did wrong. So we always talk about the two-hand jam on this channel, right? We don't want a two-hand jam. We want to get that one-hand jam opposite of where the receiver is releasing. And better than tell you, I can show you in VR, and you can actually do it with your body. So at this point in the video, I want you to pause it after I explain this and try this out. I want you to put both arms up, flex those triceps, okay? And then I want you to try to turn and open your hips while you're still trying to stay on top of the receiver like this. It's really hard. You can feel the flex in your hips, right? You're getting a stretch in your hips there. Your hips are really stiff. It's hard to do that. Now, I want you to do something different. I want you to put this hand up only, and then I want you to try to open your hips this way. See how much easier it is? You can still have contact with the guy with one hand, and you can open your hips and get up the field. That is why we do not two-hand jam unless we're going up against a guy where we are supremely confident that he's pretty much a scrub. He's not going to be able to release against us. We're going to get both of those hands on, and we're going to totally flatten him. You only do that against guys that you don't think are good. If you go up against a good receiver and do that, you're going to look like what Tyquan Thornton did to that guy, okay? So the other thing we want to understand here is, right, so we talk about it. If he gives me that inside release, then I would jam with this hand, but when he comes back, I would flip to this hand, okay? So you'd want to go boom, boom, and if you totally miss and you whiff, you want to do just like McCreary did. You want to not use any hands. You just want to get out. You could open the gate then and get on top, or if you get faked inside, you want to speed turn and then get on top and find that receiver. And the beauty of doing that is that McCreary, he releases outside. He doesn't get any hands on, so he has to open the gate and get upfield. But by doing that and not using any hands, right, and not using that piece of the progression, that he gets on top. So then when he squares back up, McCreary can square back up, and then he ends up in position again where when they do get close, he can get that opposite hand on, squeeze him, and then look back for the football, okay? So that's pretty much it for this video. So get these guys back. So that's pretty much it for this video. And I'm really interested to see in OTAs and in training camp and all that stuff, is Tyquan Thornton going to be able to do that to a Jack Jones who's really good in press coverage, or a Marcus Jones, or some of the older guys like Malcolm Butler, Terrence Mitchell, Jonathan Jones, all those guys, they have really good press technique. So I'm interested to see if he's going to be able to get those releases that he was getting in the Big 12. And then also Roger McCreary going up against some of the guys that they have over there in Tennessee, like Treylon Burks. I think those are going to be really good battles that we're going to be able to see. And you know those videos are going to end up leaking on Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff. So if they do, best believe I will be breaking those down. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And as always, you know what it is. It's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks, we fly, I'm out, peace.
I've made amends, called all my friends and said I made you better, that we changed more than the weather, but all good things end. And I'll play pretend and say you're mine forever, when we both know we would never win. I've made